and you guys don't know what was going on. Let me tell you exactly the story you don't know. The government was arresting Natembeya because there are some issues they have in Natembeya which are personal, they are not to do with corruption. And the head of government, you know him, William Ruto, offered 600 million shillings to be implanted in Natembeya'S house so that when they arrest him, they can catch him with EACC. So Natembeya knew that there was 400 million shillings that were going to be implanted in his house. He called the boys and told them, guys, there's a vehicle coming to my compound, wako na 400 million inside. Come, you pay yourself with that money. So the boys came. Did you see how they were fighting over how they were breaking the doors and the boot? Why, if you want to burn a car, you are still breaking the boot, you are breaking the door? This was breaking when they were fighting for how to get the money out of the car. Ladies and gentlemen, on the day Natembeya was being arrested at home, in his house here in Nairobi, and also when people went to his home in Tanzania, there were so many uproar, and you guys don't know what was going on. Let me tell you exactly the story you don't know. Because when I tell you Kenyans, if you read the story in the media and believe it, you better don't read it, because you will be a very dangerous person when you read the media stories and believe it 100%. So let me tell you this story, that there were losers and winners on that day. So the story went like this. The government was arresting Natembeya because there are some issues they have in Natembeya which are personal, they are not to do with corruption. I'm not saying he's not corrupt, because me, I'm not a DCI. His corruption case will only be taken to court and dealt with according to the law. But I'm trying to say what happened. The government had some personal issues with Natembeya. So the government and the head of government, you know him, William Ruto, offered 600 million shillings to be implanted in Natembeya'S house so that when they arrest him, they can catch him with EACC. Now, the policemen who are given money to go and plant this money, they branch away the 200 million. So then only 400 million was in the car. So Natembeya, being a former security person, he has his network with the security, he knew that there was a car coming to his house with 400 million inside to trap him. And he called Wakina Eugene Wamalwa. You heard Eugene Wamalwa saying they knew that these people are coming and they were prepared with the boys in the home to protect Natembeya from being implicated with this money. So Natembeya knew that there was 400 million shillings that were going to be implanted in his house. He called the boys and told them, guys, there's a vehicle coming to my compound, wako na 400 million inside. Come, you pay yourself with that money. So the boys came. Did you see how they were fighting over how they were breaking the doors and the boot? Why, if you want to burn a car, you are still breaking the boot, you are breaking the door? This was breaking when they were fighting for how to get the money out of the car and how the money should remain. So the boys, the goons who were there, I don't call the goons, but that's Natembeya'S boys, managed to pay themselves with 400 million shillings. I'm sure some policemen also ran away with a few notes, but the truth of the matter is they collected all that money. Now the policemen who ran away with 200 million, they survived with 200 million. The boys who managed to pay themselves with 400 million also took that money. Now, do you know why EACC officials normally go to people's home claiming there's money? It is not because they want to arrest corruption. They also always go to pay themselves. For example, you looking at me, one day when they'll be told that there is 1.2 billion shillings cash in your house, they will come, and if they find 1.2 billion shillings, they will take like 400 million for themselves. And then they declare they only found what? 800 million. And they will chew the whole of the 400 million shillings to themselves. So this time the EACC officials were big losers because there was no money to pay themselves with. The boys of Natembeya paid themselves with 400 million shillings. The policemen who ran with 200 million also ran away with 200 million. And the people who gained, it is Natembeya who had his name going up. And the biggest loser is Kasongo, who gave the 600 million shillings, because that money was taken away by 200 million went to some policemen, 400 million shillings went away with the boys who paid themselves, and Natembeya'S name was not diminished, but was more elevated. So ladies and gentlemen, when you see people fighting left, right, and center, don't think they're fighting to get right. Everybody is going for their money. So it's all about the money. Everybody there was about either I'm losing my money or somebody is making money. Natembeya lost nothing. He only gets his gains by being more popular and hitting hard the headlines. So from now, don't worry about the corruption case. No one is fighting corruption. The most corrupt institution in Kenya is EACC. In fact, the day I will ever get some chance to run this country, EACC will completely be outlawed. If you steal chicken, you'll be taken to police. The same as someone who steals billions of shillings. EACC is a scam, interviewing thieves, sitting at sofa set, drinking tea paid by taxpayers' money, given parking where they should not even be parking if they're thieves. Thank you.